Hi there. So today I'm going to show you how you can take one of my drawings and color in the Procreate app. So we're just going to head into Procreate. You can buy that on the App Store. It's like really inexpensive, around $11 US, I believe, and it's a one-time fee, so it's a really good alternative. So the important thing is we're going to use we're going to pick a transparent image. So I always give a transparent image because if you're coloring in Procreate, that's the best way to do it. So once we have the image in Procreate here, I can resize it if I want just to see all the edges. I'm going to add another layer. So to do that, we do this. I'm actually going to move that layer underneath because being that this is a transparent image, you can still, we're going to paint in this layer, but we can see the actual image above. So I'll show you what I mean now. So now we're going to pick, this is where you can pick your brushes. I tend to like, everybody has their own preferences, but I tend to like the calligraphy monoline for coloring. It's my preference. And I set it like this. And we're going to start, you can pick your colors in here. So I've already got a few colors that I picked, and you can pick them from the color palette from here if you want. You can indicate specific ones this way, but what I'm just doing is I've just dragged and dropped a few different colors that I like. So for example, if I wanted to use this purple as an example, I could, I'm just gonna just bring it over here and add it to my palette so it'll be available. But we're gonna start with this green, and so what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna go back to my brush. Okay, we're set there. Okay, we're done. Okay. All right, so you'll see with the green, I can just color as though I'm coloring on a regular, I can make it thicker if I want here, the brush thicker. And depending on what opacity you want, you can adjust that here. I want it as bright as I can be. I might even just go a bit bigger. Oh, that's as big as my brush will go. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to stay in the lines, because what you're doing is you're actually coloring under the image. So that's why it looks like you're staying in the lines. All right, so I've got that one color, and then if I wanted another color, we'll pick this brown that I had chosen before, so it changes it there. And I'm going to color this in brown. But you can see, like, if I go over like this, it will go over. So if I wanted to undo that, I could either hit that one to undo, or if I went over, another thing you could do is just use your eraser and erase it that way. Okay, so we're going to go back to the brush, and we're just going to fill this in. So this is if you want to color like more traditional coloring. I find this the more relaxing way to color. And then I could do brown here, just as an example, color this all in. Kind of went over the line a little bit there, so I could turn it around. But you get the idea. But there is another way you can color that I'm going to show you. And that is if you go into the original image, if we go back into the layers, I should say, and we go back into here, what I could do is I could drag and drop. So so we're in the original layer. Okay, hang on a second. There, okay. So I'm gonna do brown here, so we could just drag it and drop it into there. Oh, it's gonna make a liar out of me. Just give me a second here. There we go. And I could drag and drop into here. And same thing if I wanted to do the green. Excuse me, if I wanted to do the green and drag and drop those, I could do them like this as well. So those are a couple different options on how you can color. Another thing I like to do, and I'm gonna just go back to this layer here where I was actually coloring, is if I add alpha lock as an example, you can tell, you can tell that it's alpha lock because the grid turns like a checkerboard. What I can do is I can add some really neat effects. So for example, let's look here. Maybe I wanted to add, which one do I like? The textures here. And the rosette I like, for example. So we're going to do done. And if I wanted to add a texture to it, I can add a texture. It's going, you can see it's in the color that is here. So if I wanted to change the color, say in this one here, let's do yellow, change the color, and if I want to change that there. But again, as you can see, it won't go into here. It'll just go over the areas that you've actually, so you can actually go really quickly here. You don't have to worry about getting into the white space. One thing though that will not work is you can't use it on these ones because they were, those ones we dragged and dropped. It's a different layer we're working in. So one thing though too is depending on how hard you push your, on your eye pencil, will affect how much coverage you can get. So I wouldn't want that much coverage because I want it to show through some. So I'm just backing up a bit here. But just to give you a bit of an idea, so that's, you can use those different kind of effects for shading. And yeah, and I just noticed that there's this here, so I'm just gonna get rid of that with my eraser. But that gives you a really good idea of how you color your images. And once you're done with your image, what you do is you come into here and you would share it. You can save it. So depending if you're gonna, if you want to print it, you might want to save it as a PDF or a JPEG, and then that would be, and it saves in 300 dpi, so you have a high quality image. So, and then you can save it to wherever you want. For example, if I wanted to save this as a JPEG, it would export, and then I would just pick, I can go straight to my Dropbox if I want, or I can save the image right into my files if I'd like here. I can go right into my files. There's just different ways to do it. So yeah, so I think that you'll find that helpful when you're first starting to color some images. And if you would like more coloring images, please visit my website at lschickprintables.com, and you'll find that that website URL on my web channel here, on my YouTube channel. Thank you.